Many of you have allocated your time this Monday to be here, serve as reminder to us are just important. Our work here is to bring global awareness on the issue of the criminal law system. Awang Law School of Law, as one of the law school in Indonesia, is playing an important role in answering these challenges. I can humbly conclude that Awang Law School of Law is trying to do its best to ensure the respect of the criminal law system. This webinar is another evidence that each campus is seriously trying its best to create a conducive environment for academics, collaboration on the issue of the criminal law. As a chairman of Awang Law School of Law, I sincerely hope that this collaboration can be continued and bring significant benefit to our campus. I am confident that the academic presentation and the discussion and this webinar will positively impact the betterment of our lives. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Husni Tamrin, for the opening speech. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are going to the core of this international webinar. There's a presentation from the speakers. I would like to inform you that we will listen 3 presentations first, and after that we will be conducting Q&A, question and answer session for about 20 minutes. That's it. So let's go to our international webinar, Indian and Indonesian Criminal Law System Lesson Learned. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever watched the television show Law and Order? In the popular show, the first portion related to a crime that was committed. This part of the show focused on the police and detective work involved in trying to solve the crime and gather evidence to prove their case against the perpetrator of the crime. The second part of the show pertains to the legal system and show how criminal law applies to the facts. Now, we will explore about system and implementation of criminal law in India and Indonesia. For that, we have 3 speakers who are already with us. And the first speaker is Mr. Dr. Kadarudin. I will say hi first to Dr. Kadarudin.
Yeah,
hello, Dr. Kadarudin. Are you with us?
Yeah, I hear you.
The first one, I will allow me to introduce your profile. Mr. Dr. Kadarudin, he is a lecturer at Awang Law School of Law. He holds a Bachelor of Law in International Law, Master of Law in International Criminal Laws, and earned a doctoral in law at the Hasanuddin University, Indonesia. He has done some research collaboration, including with Indonesian Legal Resource Center, ILRC Jakarta, some universities in Indonesia, and the National University of Kaohsiung, Taiwan. He has a lot of publications. One of them is about international refugees in Indonesia, problems and solution, which was presented in the junior faculty workshop at the Center for International Laws, National University of Singapore. Well, Mr. Kadarudin, your time for the presentation is about 20 minutes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Dr. Kadarudin.
Yeah. Thank you, moderator, Ms. Nur Hasana. Mas Hero, can you help me to display my presentation slide on Zoom? Yeah, good afternoon, Professor Usni. Good afternoon, Dr. Esti, and good afternoon, Kaustup Anil Sakawar. Yeah, Mr. Sakawar, I am replacing Mr. Hendrik, who has been able to attend this afternoon. Mr. Sakawar is a great writer. I read a paper he wrote about vanishing point of the ICC and the International Criminal Law. And I was given the opportunity to respond. There are at least 5 very great Indians I have interacted with in April 20 and 22. Muhammad Betar, Chandra Sekar, Ankita Rani, and Professor Madafi. Explain in bahasa. Jadi Mr. Kaustup Sakawar ini adalah salah satu mahasiswa saya di India. Kebetulan saya adalah salah satu penguji beliau pada saat menulis professional paper bersama dengan 5 orang India lainnya. Dan kebetulan waktu itu kami bersama-sama diundang untuk berinteraksi pada April 2 bulan yang lalu. First of all, I will only convey general points related to the criminal justice system in Indonesia. Coincidentally, I am currently into activities at the same time. So I will make the most of the time given. Dr. Esti will later discuss more technically related to the criminal law system in Indonesia, because apart from being an academician, she is also a lawyer. Please next slide, Mas Hero. The criminal justice system should be an embodiment of values. Few cases raise concern and questioned Pancasila practice because it hurt community justice sense. And Pancasila is philosophical foundation of the state of Indonesia. This means that Pancasila also act as the highest source of law. Pancasila has become the guidance on how Indonesians should live in the society. According to Mahfud MD, he has ministry coordinator for political law and human rights of the Republic of Indonesia. Pancasila as the foundation and ideology of the state can be viewed from 3 aspects. The first one is philosophical aspect. This means that Pancasila is as the basis for running the state. In the second one is juridical aspect. This means that Pancasila as the foundation of the state becomes a legal ideal which must be the basis and objective of every law in Indonesia. And the last one is political aspect. Pancasila can become a guidance of value and ethics in practicing politics and organizing the state. Therefore, Indonesian's criminal justice system should be the embodiment of the values of Pancasila and the Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia in order to realize legal justice, legal security, and legal utility as the foundation of life as a society and a nation. By doing it is expected that the order of life of Indonesians as a nation can create justice and virtue of humanity and social justice for the society. Criminal justice system with Pancasila perspective is an open system which influenced by institution or the people's environment and life in terms of its operations. Can you next slide, Mas Hero? Yeah, as an open system, criminal system in practice is not solitary, it is affected by other factors. Thus, turmoil in the society highly affect the process of criminal justice, another question arises. What does criminal justice system with Pancasila perspective as an open criminal justice system mean? Another important matter is how those subsystem works as part of criminal justice system with Pancasila perspective as an open system. Criminal justice system in Indonesia along with the subsystem in all stage, and criminal justice system in Indonesia along with the subsystem in all stage from investigation, prosecution, examination, and execution must be based on Pancasila. According to the description, the formulation of criminal justice system today, what kind the Indonesian make a good to be legal practitioner about prosecution, examination, and execution must be based on Pancasila. Phenomena concerning criminal justice, such as a case of Khalil and Suryanto, case of Manesis, and so on. And the characteristic of Pancasila are the first, believe in the one on only God as primary cause, so that as the people who believe in God, Mas Hero, can you next slide, please? Yeah. God as a primary cause, so that as the people who believe in God, the practice of criminal justice system must be based on morality and religiosity, because we must face account to God. The second balance of the interest of the perpetrators and the victim, which associated with the second, fourth, and fifth principle in Pancasila. Basically, the perpetrators and the victims are the principal parties in a case, yet the victims are represented by the state, which later are represented by the prosecutor. Therefore, in its implementation, criminal justice system must take into account what the interest of the perpetrators, individual idea, and the victim is. This must be done impartially and must be balanced. The decision of the prosecution must also be based on the objective of the punishment, which is based on that strafrecht in Dutch. And the system is the balance model of any interest, the state interest, perpetrators interest, and the victim interest. So law and human rights is interrelated in the 5 factors. The first one, human right is the most fundamental rights given by God, and human rights make an individual dignified and civilized. Human as the creation of God has been given non-derogable rights since they were born. Law enforcement must take into account humanity values. And the last, the right of the suspect or defendant in criminal justice must be protected during the process of the trial, starting from the initial investigation process until examination process. The divine justice associated with the first principle of Pancasila, which is the root of the following principle, which realizes the aim of social justice as taught in the fifth principle. As a nation that believe in God, Indonesia criminal justice system must also be based on divine justice. This can be seen in court judgment, which follows the principle for the sake of divine justice. This principle means that in every court decision, there is a dimension of judge responsibility to the one and only God, the states and the nations, the law, him or herself, the people along with the police and persecution. The police and persecutors, responsibility as part of law enforcing process. In addition, this is in accordance with Article 2, Section 1, Law Number 48, year 2009, stating that the judiciary exercise for the sake of fairness on the divinity of the one